Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
We'll just wait a couple of minutes to make sure everyone's joining. Hi, Lucas. Hi, Clara.
Hi.
Thank you for being so numerous. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Sophie. If you want to tell us where you're from as well, so we can have a bit of idea of which country we'll be try to specify for. Paris. Okay. France. Okay. A lot of messages. Hey, everyone. Okay. Mainly France.
Lyon.
If English is not your native, or you can also add the subtitles, which are automated as well, so that can be helpful as well if needed.
I saw some in UK and Spain also.
Hey everyone, welcome. Hey Florian, thank you for joining. We'll wait perhaps a minute before we start. Italy, hi. Morocco, wow, come from far. Hi everyone. Let us know if it's too warm where you are. Great, I think it's 4:01. We'll come in. We'll start in a second. Great. I think we can get started then.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome everyone. Super happy to do this webinar. Thank you for joining. We know it's a busy and warm week for everyone. So quickly we'll introduce ourselves and then we'll try to present to you why Reddit is your secret weapon. So my name is Jules Chazo. I'm lead content strategist at Eskimos. Been working there for the past 4 years on the French and English now side. I've been working with international clients across the world and developing 360 degrees content strategy for clients through GEO, SEO, now Reddit, Wikipedia, etc. And I'm joined here today by Flora.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So I am Flora, like Reddit. I'm a Reddit content strategist at Eskimos. I'm basically doing like some semantic strategy for my client, and also I have a specification on Reddit. That's why I'm here today with Jules.
Thanks, Laura. So the promise of today, of this session, is should last around 45 minutes an hour. And by the 45 minutes mark, you'll know if Reddit really matters for your business, what to do about it, and how to measure it as well. Quick heads up, there's a Q&A at the end, but please make sure to ask us some questions as well during the live. We'll try to answer it at the end of each sections. So feel free to ask us questions. But before quickly we go through our slides, we just wanted to present Eskimos in 30 seconds. So we are a 15-year-old company with over 200 consultants. We have over 1,000 active clients in 70 countries. And we're not just an SEO agency anymore. We cover really the full search ecosystem from GEO, SEO, Amazon, TikTok. And we spent a lot of our research and money into over 2 million euros per year in research and development to really stay ahead of the curve for anything related to GEO, Reddit, etc., which is why we're here today. And we've had the chance with our clients to try those Reddit strategies that we'll talk to you about today. So what we'll present is not everything theoretical. It's also some real data that we've applied for our clients and for Eskimos as well. So quick roadmap so you know what we'll answer today. So we'll answer those 5 questions, which is why is Reddit suddenly winning in SEO and GEO? We see it more and more in the SERPs. We see it in AI results, in citations. And so what is happening there and why is Google favoritism kind of that Reddit channel? Should your brand be on Reddit? And what's the cost of staying out? So will it be interesting to see if for your business and your niche, it's interesting to position yourselves there. And actually, how do you build presence on Reddit? There's a lot of people have tried, a lot of businesses that have been burnt, being removed from Reddit. So we'll tell you how to do it in the best way and manner. And finally, we'll try to measure the impact for your business with the main KPIs that you should follow and kind of the Reddit ads as well to see if it's useful. If you want to skip ahead, you can book a 30-minute call with our sales team as well. But let's get started. So for this, to respond to all those questions, we'll go through this plan. And at the end of each section, we'll try to answer your questions if they aren't answered afterwards.
So maybe to start, we want to do a quick poll and just ask you if you use like Reddit for your personal use, for business, both maybe, or not at all. It will permit us to know better how you are using this platform. And maybe we are going to wait for a few seconds and then highlight some of your answers.
So you should see normally a poll coming up, which you can answer, and we'll follow the results. I'm seeing some people asking if the session is recorded and if the presentation will be sent. So yes, of course, the presentation will be sent with the recording. So don't worry if someone of your team is not here. We'll be able to share it with them afterwards. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people that are using for their personal use. People are still new for it. Okay.
Some people are not using Reddit at all, so it's a great place to know how to use it.
Okay, so most of you are still new to it. I see a little bit that use it for both. I think, yeah, a bit of D, a lot of D.
A lot of them, yeah.
I think it's what this question matter today is because a lot of people are use it for personal use, but how we use it for Reddit professionally is very different. And so that's the exact gap and opportunity that we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so mainly a lot of these, so new to people to Reddit. That's great. We'll present Reddit as well for you to be more familiar with it. Ready? Okay.
Yes, let's go.
So we see that there's a lot of people that are familiar with Reddit, of course. And as the recent numbers have come out, there's over 450 million weekly active uniques on Reddit. And that makes it currently the third most visited website in the US, just behind Google and YouTube. So of course, it's kind of huge. It's been created in August 2025, so it's even older than Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. And so its base and how it's built hasn't changed that much since. And it's really a we platform. So it's not a me platform in the sense of personal use. It's really the goal is for the community. It's anonymous, and you don't really gain anything for being known there. It's more for the goal of high purpose of of providing information. And so what we've seen is that in the IPO that happened in March 2024, the company became publicly listed and is now worth over 25 billion. And that really changed kind of the company in terms of monetization pressure. And so that's why perhaps it happened mainly on the AI deals and what we've seen with Google and OpenAI as well. And so the main question that we're going to ask ourselves right now is why does Reddit dominate SEO and GEO? And so to better understand its impact on GEO currently, when we look at the sources and kind of what the place of Reddit in AI, we can see that's the top source that is being mentioned by AI and by LLMs and Google OpenAI as well. And so we can see that it's the first cited platform in AI search. And so what's interesting is that it converts as well dramatically higher. So when we say it's not a channel, a social channel anymore, it's really the layer of search underneath itself. So not only is Reddit everywhere an AI answer as well, but the traffic AI sends you converts dramatically harder as well. But to present to you a bit Reddit before we get a bit more into it. So how does Reddit work? So basically, you've got those subreddits, which are communities, and anyone can create a subreddit. There's mainly a lot of different subreddits, over 100,000, and each one have its own rules, moderators, and focus. The biggest ones, if you want to know, of subreddits are over 60 million, participants inside of them. So it's kind of huge subreddits with other activities. On those subreddits, you've got moderators that are volunteers, not Reddit employees, that really define the community aspect of it and can implement the rules. You can get banned, etc. So they're really the ones that are responsible for those threads. And inside those subreddits, you've got threads, which are posts and comments. And how it works is you've got upvotes and downvotes. Upvotes, of course, push the content up, and downvotes bury it. So it's really the crowd that ranks the every piece of content, not the algorithm. How it overall works as well is that you've got a karma, which is your reputation score. And so that's super important because it presents how much of a help you are to the community. So it's really earned. You can't really buy it, and that's how how it works on Reddit. What's interesting is that you gain karma by adding posts and gaining upvotes, or comments and gaining upvotes. However, they're not all equal. For example, if you post on a news section, or for example, on quantum physics, and you get a lot of upvotes, it'll have more impact than if you, for example, get a lot of votes on a funny subreddit, for example. And of course, the front page is dynamic. So what you see really depends on the subs that you join, what you upvote, what you comment. And so that will be the aspect that vary for you instead of the others. And so why does this really matter for your brand? It really shows that it's a trust machine, and that Google and LLM is exactly looking for that. It's more of these EEAT criteria that we've seen more recently arrived. And that is how Google is why Google is interested in Reddit. It's basically EAT materialized. And so what is EAT? It shows experience, expertise, authority, and trust to Google. And so Reddit fits because it shows experience from users. It's really first-hand users giving their feedback of an experience, of a product, of a solution. It's expertise. You've got subreddits on any topics that can go quite in detail. You've got authority. So with those karma, there's account history. So that's trust that is verifiable. And the trust is also coming from the upvotes and the downvotes, and from those moderators as well that will ban the content that's not helpful. And so overall, Reddit is basically structurally immune to the AI content flood that Google is fighting. And so that's why in February 2024, we've seen this big deal that's happened with Google with over 60 million US dollars per year. And so that allows Google to license Reddit's content to train Gemini and put real content data into the search. Just after that, we've seen the core update, that the goal was to remove anything that's too AI written and really bring more helpful, basically, content to the SERP. And then step by step, we've seen the introduction of AI overview in 2024 and the quality of rater guidelines updated. So those are all linked to AI content that's not helpful to the public. And so that is why Reddit has started to appear more in the SERPs and appear more in AI results as well. And when we look at the results on the SERP, so we've added here a graph from Systrix, you can see that the visibility is growing quite rapidly from then. So what is the graph is not really normal. As we work in SEO, we've seen that many times. It seems that it's almost something like algorithmic favoritism. And so we see that Reddit has taken off place in the SERPs. I've put a few examples beneath. You can see with Nail Cutter, you can see that Reddit is in the top results. And for example, when you're comparing two softwares as well, Reddit will usually be at the top of the SERP. And so now Reddit really appears in 82% of Google searches and is the first platform that is cited by AI, and 15% of AI overview answers cite Reddit. So it's playing this, it's having this huge impact on AI and LLM. And so now it's not only being cited, but it's also being, the data is trained on Reddit as well. So OpenAI, for example, signed a deal with them in 2024, and it's used all of Reddit's data to train its LLMs on. So what happened, which I think is quite interesting in 2025 as well in September, is I don't know if you remember, if you follow the citations from your main keywords, but basically there was a huge drop with Reddit not being cited anymore, and from 15% to 0% almost. And what we've seen is that actually what was happening is not that OpenAI or ChatGPT doesn't cite Reddit anymore. It's more that it's not quoting it when talking about its sources. But an NHRF analysis found that actually Reddit is still being quoted. It's not being cited. And why is that? Is because Reddit and OpenAI have this deal, and OpenAI now is using this Reddit Foundation for training its LLMs. It's still using a bit of a real-time retrieval. So Reddit is also in the answers, which you'll mainly see on Google's LLMs and Perplexity. But really, what's to remember is that Reddit has this invisible influence across the LLMs. And their co-founder and CEO, Steve Hoffman, even said that LLMs would not exist as we know them without Reddit. And that, I think, is quite true. It's kind of a strong statement, but accurate when you look at kind of the training corpora. Reddit is both the training data and the real-time citation source. So I think that's a unique platform that no other platform has, basically. We think that's why there's 5 main reasons why you should be on Reddit today. The first one is really to push your search visibility, really appear on those searches and search intentions that buyers are looking for. So perhaps best, nail cutter for me, or perhaps bare hair dryer. So really applying for search visibility. The second one is really to push your AI presence. So as Reddit is shaping how LLMs and AI overview describe yourself in your category, you can either be there or you by default, or you can be really active in it and kind of shape how those responses are going to change. The third one is to really control this brand truth. You can control your own story by making sure that what is being said on Reddit and those platforms is correct. And finally, the last two is pushing your EAT signals. So really building that trust that you can't fake anymore and you can't buy. And finally, one that I think a lot of people are missing currently is that using that audience intelligence. So really using those comments from those Redditors will be super helpful. So what we've seen, for example, Ahrefs, the platform for SEO, has every 2 years since 2015 did Ask Me Anything on Reddit to see what people thought of their products and if they could do anything to improve it. And I think that's super interesting because what we've seen, and you could see at the top comments from Reddit, and anything that was of help for Ahrefs have been implemented in the platform. And I think that's why the CEO has understood at that time that posting it on using their advice will be super useful, not only now to build the product, but also now being cited in AI and in the SERP. One thing to remember, though, is that all actors are not impacted the same. So I'm not going to tell you if you're a SaaS or an e-commerce that it will have the same impact, but it will be critical for most of you. So that includes SaaS, B2B, fintech, e-commerce, anything related to traveling. That will be very important for you to be present there, because people are usually looking for best searches with comparisons, and really the trust is really decisive there. Perhaps where there's a bit less impact and the exposure is perhaps less important, it's really in the institutional and public sector, where really when you look at it, official sources really are preferred by AI engines rather than Reddit, for example. And what you can do for that, if you want to do a little test to see if it's important in the niche you are in, is really to type your top commercial query. If Reddit appears in the top 10, for example, in the SERP results, if it appears in discussion and forum, or if it's appearing as well in the AI interviews overview, AI overview, that means that you're greatly concerned. So if you're seeing any results, shaping from Reddit, don't hesitate to use it, as this will have a massive impact. And so I think one last question comes from, this evolution of Reddit is really what you lose from not being present on Reddit. And so I think there's a few elements that you lose, which is one, opportunities. Now, 60% of AI searches end without a click. And so that means that AI overview is present. That means that people are searching on LLMs. And so that means that they're looking at, what those LLMs are promoting rather than your websites. So that's a big loss of opportunities there and conversions. You lose visibility as well. So as we've been saying, when a lot of people type, brand plus Reddit, over 32 billion searches per year, So if you're not there, then you're kind of missing on that visibility aspect as well, or at least you're not controlling it. The third one is really trust. Now people really trust what people are saying on those platforms more and more. So it's essential to be there. You missed a decision. So if people use Reddit to make decisions, and finally you're missing validation and authority. As we've seen a bit earlier, EAT criteria are essential, and those really come from those platforms. And now I'll let Flora respond to a few questions and present to you as well how to be present on Reddit then.
Yes, so now that you understand why Reddit dominates and how it works with tools, we are going to dive into the strategy that work to build a lasting presence in the platform. So the first point will be that most brands treat Reddit like another social platform. The key with Reddit is that you earn trust. You earn trust by contributing, answering questions, giving some helpful content, sharing real experience, and you will help the community. And this long before you even mention your brand. So you have to keep in mind that Reddit isn't an audience, it's really a community. And every subreddit has its own rules, its own codes, its own moderators, like Drew said. And the Redditors, the users of Reddit, actively reward authenticity. So that's why I put here three main traps brands that three main traps that brands fall into. The first one will be to push content like you do on Twitter or LinkedIn, because you are broadcasting like corporate messages without even taking into account the question of the user in the first place. The second one will be to expect visibility without contribution. As I said, when you are on Reddit, you have to contribute to have visibility. So no participation equals no visibility. And then get banned and wonder why. Every subreddit has its own rules, and all the moderators are watching that you are following the rules. And so if you are breaking the rules, you can be removed or even banned. And we are going to show you some really great example of brands that do not follow the main rules of Reddit. So actually, the rule is pretty simple. You have to contribute first, earn trust second, and speak third. And so that you understand the mindset of the platform, we are going to see what it means in practice. So I saw some questions on the side speaking about using account, how they can do it. So here is like a 15-day warm-up sequence. And so the first thing will be before even thinking to post on Reddit, you need to know that Reddit's anti-spam filters are pretty brutal. So if you are new to Reddit and you go on the platform and first 24 hours you are posting like a promote message, you can get automatically banned. Even if no one saw it, even if you didn't get downvoted, it's because your account is too new. So for that, you have to follow some basic rules. And if you're thinking to buy pre-warmed account, it is not really relevant because it's more interesting and more natural to create your own and like build it. So the first part will be to create an account with a verified email, enable 2FA verification. You can add a profile photo, a bio, like fill your account like a normal person. Then the first phase will be to observe only. So you go on the homepage, you do nothing else, you just scroll and see what are the post about. The third phase will be to join and read. Join and read, that means you can join 2 or 3 subreddits related to your sector, to your niche. You go on that subreddit, you read the threads, you can read the comments and check what our people are saying, how they are talking about some specific topic. And here you do not vote and you do not comment yet. It will be done on the fourth, part that will be comment with value. So here, when you go on those subreddit that you follow, you can start to publish maybe 1 to 2 answer a day. You answer the question, you share some insights, some expert insights, but you do not push your brand yet. And then the fifth step will be the post. You can like post, and it is where the real work starts. And so when your account is warmed up, you maybe ask yourself what kind of account I'm going to create, how I'm going to talk to the community, and that's what we are going to see. So this slide is related to if you want to push a brand or personal expert account. I saw also this question on the question tab. So basically, you have two ways to show yourself on Reddit in a legitimate way. Some brands can do both, but you maybe need to start with one, and it will depend on your goal, your sector, your competitors, what they are doing, and how comfortable you are with maybe speaking on your with your own brand. The first one is brand account. So it's your company name. You are fully visible. The affiliation is really clear, and Reddit tolerates it if you are transparent. Authenticity will be the key on Reddit, and the trust selling here is pretty low because it's like corporate by nature, and Redditors can smell like a tone, like marketing tone, a mile away. So you have to make sure that you are speaking to your audience the right way. And how you can shine with this kind of account is through AMAs, as Jules said, like Ask Me Anything session, official responses, crisis management. It's those kind of moments when the people want to hear from your brand, or if you already have a credibility in your community, or if your community is like pretty active or demanding, it's really interesting. And the risk that you can have with this kind of account, if your tone is too much corporate for the platform, you can be downvoted or not banned, but highlighted by a PR team or press, etc. And I'm going to show you after some use cases. Then the second one is personal expert account. It can be a user, it can be a founder, an employee, and consultant, like someone real. Here, the trust ceiling is pretty high because human trust humans. It's interesting for organic contribution to push your brand name, and Reddit tolerates it as long as it's authentic. And the risk that you can have with this kind of account is if your history looks fake, if you have an empty profile, if you post like weirdly, you have weird posting patterns. With those kind of thing, you can get shadow banned.
Yeah, one thing to add as well on that, I've seen a lot of questions on if you should say that you work in the company. We recommend you saying that you're, for example, an employee in the company and that you're helping the community. The risk is if you don't say it, then there's a high risk of you being banned. And one thing that can be really dangerous for your brand is that, for example, in an important subreddit, you can get basically banned your account, but also you can get your main keywords. So your brand name, for example, can be removed. So every mention of your brand name will be not tolerated. And so then you'll disappear entirely from that subreddit, which will be quite impactful on AI results. So we recommend you to be quite transparent and say that you're working for marketing, that you're helping to, build an agency, for example, or you're helping to make LLMs faster. I don't know. But really don't hesitate to be transparent, although because the consequences can be quite important if you're banned or even your brand keyword is removed.
Yes. So then there is some real example, of what I was saying between brand account or a personal expert account. For example, on the left, you have ClickUp, Duolingo, or Cursor AI have created their own community with their own rules. So it helps users to maybe have some answers of the brand directly, or other user of ClickUp or Duolingo to answer their questions directly. And you can highlight some posts that are really important for the community. Then on the right side, you have some personal experts. As Jules said, it's like a really good example. The GD2M official is the founder, I think, of this company, and he is speaking on like directly to the community, and he's saying, hey, I'm the founder of this company and I can help you with that. And he's giving really good insight and really good expert questions. And also he's linking his website too. So that can be interesting. The other one, Simon Heilberg, I think, is not like he's not speaking behalf a company. He's just an expert that knows his subject and just answering questions on different subreddits. Now we can see if you need or if you want transparency or anonymity. And first of all, here's something crucial about Reddit. It has an unwritten but strictly enforced rule around transparency. So you don't have to reveal everything, but you cannot like actively deceive. And the community has built a near perfect detector for inauthenticity. Sorry. So here's the four things that Reddit tolerates. The first one will be disclose and win. So if you say, I'm the founder of this company, I'm biased, but blah, 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 I can help you with this problem. I have the solution. My solution helps this amount of people. And also you're answering the questions. It is generally helpful. So it's interesting. And you want to help first, then push your brand. The second one will be testimonial work, sharing real client stories, real client experience. So you are contributing and not promoting first. Then the pseudo, you can use pseudo. Reddit doesn't need your real name; it needs just your real track record and to know that you are a real person behind this account. And also one mention of your product naturally is okay. At the end of a great answer, you will see on Reddit, if you go on the platform, you will see sometimes on the comments people like write long comments with a lot of context and a lot of information. So pushing your brand or your service or solution is not the first point, like the point of the answer, but also you are giving some genuine information in context and answers. Now, oh, sorry, maybe I go on the other side if it's not really clear. As I said, not respecting the rules. It's like the main point on Reddit. Copy pasting answers. As I said, if you go on multiple Reddits, subreddits, and do the same answer always and always, or copy pasting your LinkedIn and Twitter post, it is not okay. Asking for upvotes. If you ask external people to go massively upvote an answer, it can be flagged also. And the last point will be if you have no history on your account and then suddenly you are pushing your product, so it's not okay. So here it's like pretty clear. You have to be transparent with what you want to offer to the platform. You have to contribute first, and never to try to game the system or change the rules of every subreddit. So now that everything those information are clear, I'm going to show you how you can choose your subreddits. So the tagline will be sniper, not shotgun. That means that you have to, it's better to be precise and to know where you want to go before just like spraying content across 20 different subreddits and getting nowhere with that. So here is the framework that I use through basically three types of community. The first one I it's the niche. I think the word is niche. It's like the celebrate SEO, SaaS, marketing, the huge one. Your core audience will be there, but you have high competitions, strict rules also because there is a lot of people. And so if you go on those kind of subreddits and you're doing the work in a good way, you can be rewarded massively. The second one will be adjacent. Adjacent, as you can see, it is more um, uh, it's small business, freelance, or very specific one, manager IT, because you have the subreddit manager, the huge one, but you have more specific like dev manager, etc. It is people who need your product but are not searching for it yet. And there is lower defenses, and maybe people can discover your brand more easily. And also, if you go on those kind of subreddits, you can, if you have service or product, a lot of product or different vertical, it can be interesting to target a specific audience on those kind of subreddits. And the third one, you do not have to forget and put aside the local part. You have a lot of subreddits related to cities, related to specific area in the world. For example, I have in mind e-commerce Brazil, for example. So it's targeting the Brazil and the e-commerce sector. So it's really great for local brands. For example, if someone is searching best content in the 11th district, that can be a warm lead, and there is less competition than when we compare to the niche or adjacent one. So it's really interesting for you. Before you post, I put four step to do quick like audit if it's a good subreddit for you. You have to read the rules. Check what are the top 10 all times posts that are working on the specific subreddit. Check if the moderators are like banning a lot of posts, and what are the path of the user on this specific subreddit. And also read the tone. You have to match the tone of voice. I will show you later, but you have to really match the tone of voice of Reddit and do not use like a corporate tone of voice. And on the side, you have two tips in order to see if a subreddit is relevant for your company. You can do like a site reddit.com plus your keyword or your brand and see where users are talking about you or your specific keyword that you want to target.
That is to type on Google on the site.
Yeah, to type on Google. Sorry, yeah. And also, you can use Reddit ads freely. When you set up an account, you can have like free subreddit suggestions that can be interesting. And then always you do like the 4-step subreddits audit analysis in order to check if it's relevant for you. So here are some examples related to specific sector. For example, the HR solution services. When we go on the niche, we have the huge one, human resources, managers, ask managers. When we go on the adjacent, it's more specific. We can talk about to IT managers or remote work if our HR solution is dedicated to this, or employee management if we have a solution that help employee management. And on the local, you can see that we have basically the huge one, United Kingdom, Paris, Boston, French, etc. And we also have Human Resources UK, so you can find your sector plus the local area that you want to target. Finance, bank, and insurance company also on the niche personal finance, investing. Adjacent, you can target maybe entrepreneur or the tax topic for the professional. And on the local, you have legal advice UK and other kind of local subreddits. And then third use case, if you are an e-commerce or retail company, you have the huge one, e-commerce, small business, or ask retail that focus retail especially. The adjacent one will be e-commerce marketing, drop shipping, for example, or supply chain logistic, if it's really specific to your sector. And as I said, the local, I use this example, but e-commerce BR, that e-commerce Brazil, small business in UK, if it's really what you want to target. So here's some real example. So now that you chose your subreddit, you chose the kind of account that you want to create, you finally have to post with a brand intent, but how you can write it. So I put here two formats that works on Reddit. The first one will be the brand experience. So it's like a basic brand format. You show up at the founder or with an employee or a consultant or someone that work for this specific solution. And you are answering question. You can say that obviously you're biased because you work here, but you can give real information, a real answer, and generally help the community. And also, what is important, you have to not just push your brand or solution. You need to add more expert information and answering the questions that the user is putting on the subreddit. The second format will be experienced user. Here, you're posting maybe as a customer and or user, but not like the brand itself. I've highlighted some parts that you can see related to the tone of voice. For example, not gonna lie, you're not speaking the same way that you are speaking on LinkedIn or Twitter. If you are the founder of the company, you will have like a more casual way of speaking. Like you can like send a message to a friend that you want really that you really want to help. You can also, the second part that I've highlighted was auto messages felt robotic at first. That means that you can admit some flaws, not huge one that can be negative for your business, but little one that you're aware of. Maybe some people pushed it on your on the side, like the user of the services that you are pushing. And you can also, there is two way. Here is a way that you do not mention competitors. You say that no idea if there are better alternatives out there. I took this solution. It was really great, but there is some other brands that I saw that are sometimes pushing competitors. It is when you are comfortable with that by saying there is a list of other competitors, you can like choose the one that you want to push, or you can just talking about alternatives that exist. So it's two formats that exist, and just below, it works because you're answering the question. You can say that there is bias if there is. You need to have a conversational tone, not like a corporate one. You can name friction point or flows of your solutions, very in a transparent way, and you can mention alternatives if you want. So that's why those two formats worked. Here's some example. On the left side, you have a founder of companies that talk for themselves. So they are saying that they are the founder or they are working on this company. They can add link to this specific website. And on the right, you have experienced user. And here you have different formats. You have people that are saying that they are using the solution and they are really happy and they are pushing the brand solution, and I know that there is brand behind those accounts, and the second example that you have in the middle is the one that I told you that is pushing other competitors within the answer. So now you know what to do. It's the half, it's the only half the job. Then now you want to know what are the mistakes that you can do and what you do not have to do because you can be banned, or as Jules said, you can your brand can be erased of the subreddit permanently. The first one will be posting promo in week one, as I said. Multiple accounts with the same IP address. Reddit can flag like IP fingerprinting. So if you have several accounts in like on the specific computer that you have and you are managing all the accounts within the same IP, you can be flagged. If you write in a too marketing language like a tone of voice also. Commenting on dead threads. That means if there is a thread that is not live until 2022, it is not relevant for you to go and push your brand because there is no life behind this post. If you are ignoring celebrity tools, it can be it can have like a huge damage on your brand. And also chasing karma. You can have a lot of karma on specific subreddit, but it is not relevant to your sector or your audience. It is more interesting to have less, specific like adjacent subreddit, as I said, that will be more interesting for you. So now we are going to go on the use cases. So first, a success story that we lived ourselves with Eskimos, and then we are going to show you two cases to show you what can happen if you use it wrong, like it was the case for EA Sport and Nissan. So for Eskimos, what we've done, we didn't like do a test. It was like a real strategy. We wanted to create a community. We build our own community. So here you can go on Reddit and follow us if you want more insight, more information on SEO, GEO, AI, and everything regarding those topics. And we gained a lot of members, as you see on the left, the tab that shows the amount of members that we gained, near 900 members until I think it was October, since October. And then basically we have an average of 36 K impressions a month on the different posts that we publish on the Eskimos community. The second step was we worked on external subreddits by respecting every community rules. That's why we are not banned. We can push our Eskimos in a more transparent way. Those on the left, you can see some subreddit that we worked on. It was related to SaaS, marketing, LLM, or AI directly. So we as you saw, we focus on our audience, our niche, and where we want to find those people.
Perhaps we're getting a bit short on time if we want to
Yeah.
answer questions. Here we have a few success cases and negative cases afterwards. We'll share the presentation with you afterwards, so you'll have all the information on what was the good practices and the negative practices. I think there's a good case right after about a disaster case with EA, which is the most downvoted posts. But we'll make sure to answer your questions, as I see you have loads already. I saw a few ones that I perhaps want to answer already before going to the next one. Is the first one is does the French market, as I see there's a lot of French people impacted as well? Yes, it's quite impacted as well, of course, to a lower degree than in the US, but it's progressing quite rapidly as well. So AI overview don't exist in France, so of course Google's not going to show up in the SERP, but it will arrive at some point. Same with LLMs, so it's still important to a higher degree. And I think I saw another question that was interesting as well, which was, is it worth posting on Reddit if none of my potential customers read Reddit? And that's why we think it's quite important, because your potential customers probably very necessarily use AI. And since they're using Reddit, as a platform for their information and to train their data, they're going to use it anyways. So technically, even if they don't go on Reddit, they're going to use AI, LLMs, OpenAI, and ChatGPT, which will cite Reddit. So it's very important to make sure that even if you're not, your customers are not on Reddit, you should try to be. And finally, before I go to the last question, was interesting, which was, what's the goal if I just talk and help people instead of citing my brand? It's not about not citing your brand. It's building up your karma to cite your brand afterwards in a natural way. Otherwise, you're going to get banned. So that's why we recommend it's just about building up. I saw a few people as well talking about in the comments that you need a minimum of karma to publish on some subreddits. And that's true as well to comment. So that's why building up your profile, which is brand or personal, and both can be useful, is important. So we'll look at the last questions towards the end. But we just want to go through the how to measure your Reddit ROI and attribution. And so we think that there are 5 KPIs that actually matter a lot. It's the share of voice in LLMs. So I was just talking about that. How often is your brand cited versus competitors on through citation, or for how the LLM data has been trained. The second KPI is really Reddit mentions and sentiment. So what's the volume behind it? What's the sentiment trend? Is it positive? What people say behind your brand? Is it negative? And for that, there's a lot of different tools. We've actually built a tool in-house, which we'll quickly show you right afterwards, which is called Reddit Plus. But you can use other tools which are free or available. And the third one is the branded search. So really look at your brand plus Reddit, what comes up. And if you have a very small brand, perhaps nothing will come up, but you can build it up as you probably have the hope that your brand will grow and people will search for it afterwards.
Yeah, the fourth one will be the third one will be Ben search lift. When you go on growth, you can check the growth of your brand plus Reddit, and then the AI overview presence because as Jules said, AI overview, ChatGPT and LLMs use Reddit, so you can search your high intent queries that are citing Reddit within the AI overview, and then it will be the self-report attribution, and you can check how people search for you, and for example in free form or contact form they can say that they uses Reddit to find you. Quick thing about referral traffic on GA4. You can send real click to your site through Reddit, especially if you're a founder of a company. If you have your community, you can put link that goes to your website. We added some bullet points that speaks about that, and also the second layer, it will be conversion. You can track them through those 4 different bullet points. And also, it will be interesting to see the last one, that is assisted conversion on GA4, because you will think that Reddit is not relevant or doesn't work. But if you just check the last click, maybe. But sometimes Reddit users on Reddit find your brand, then go on Google and then find your brand and then convert, and it will be interesting to check this assisted path, and for that we mentioned some tips in order to put this in place.
Exactly. But one thing to keep in mind is that really it's not Reddit that directly generate leads. It really generates the conditions on which lead happened. So you don't really measure Reddit by clicks. You don't expect last click, and you don't judge it after 1 month only. The right question, I think, to ask for your boardroom and for yourself is how many leads did Reddit how many leads did Reddit generate this month? Is without Reddit, how much more would my customer acquisition cost? Because if your competitors are on Reddit and you're not, in 6 months now, perhaps their cost of acquisition will be 30%, 40% lower as you're not being present on AI. So I think that's more the mindset that you need to approach when posting on Reddit. And to look at those KPIs, we'll quickly present our tool that we've built in-house to still have 5 minutes afterwards to respond to your questions.
Yeah. Quickly.
I'll try to answer a few questions in between.
Here. Okay. So normally you can see my screen here. Do you want to answer some questions?
No,
maybe?
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Perfect. So we know that Reddit is for now not as well understood as GEO is, and at Eskimos we want to focus our work by helping our clients to have the best of the visibility that they can have with those key innovations. So that's why we built Reddit Plus. It's a tool that you can find on our Eskimos app, Eskimos application, and it's launching soon. So first of all, you have this interface here. The first part will be the overview part. It is where you can see the main metrics that you want to track. So here you have the main visibility, but visibility is like a basic feature that we have on our tools. But we wanted to give you more actionable insight to make sure you will be able to prioritize and have relevant impact. So here you can see just below, you have two opportunities tab. So for example, if your brand is attacked or mentioned badly, we already added filters in order for you to have the main spots, the more important spot publication where you want to have a massive impact. Then on the left, you can add, you see that there is a monitoring and brand part. The monitoring one is related to your non-branded keyword. So on the tool, you can add non-branded keywords. So if someone is talking about CRM, sorry, software or best CRM software, those kind of keyword will be tracked and you will be able to see them in inbox. In inbox, we are focusing our work on indexed posts. So some posts can be indexed on Google SERP. So here you will be able to show them. If the sentiment of the question is negative, positive, neutral, and you will also see the live post on Reddit. And for example, when you choose this one, what are the best AI-powered CRM tools, you can click on it. And you can have here, you can have like AI answers where you can choose if you want to be helpful, personal, curious, direct, and it will be like generated automatically. Here you can modify it, adapt it to your tone of voice, pushing your brand if you want, in a more natural way, in transparent way, and then you can copy paste it and it will open Reddit and you can like put it on Reddit directly. Then you have the brand side. Here, the brands is focused. It's like the same mechanism as the monitoring one, but it's focused on brands, your brands and your competitors' brands. So here you can add the competitors and their alias in their like keyword plus brand names. You can have the analysis of that, how their volume of activity on different subreddits, the main subreddit that they are mentioned on, yours also, obviously, the user that are posting and the percentage of mentions, sorry. And what is different with the monitoring tab is that you have the comments tab. Here the comments, it is when a competitors is mentioned and you're not. You can be able to click, open the tab, and do the same and check if you want to answer or not by creating like a direct answer through AI and then modify it and do the modification that you want. So here are the key aspect of the tool that are really helpful when you want to start visibility and strategy on Reddit, because GEO is like the majority of person understand and use it and match their SEO strategy in order to be visible on GEO. But there is less person that understand Reddit. So with the time passing, like company will go find agency to have to put in place a ready strategy, and so they will be more and you will have the one that do the strategy and the other that doesn't, so the gap will be important. That's why we are creating those tools to help our clients the best way we can. Maybe if you have questions regarding the tool, we can answer that after and go dive in a little bit.
Yeah. Great.
Here. Yeah. So we can go quickly on Reddit ads. So on Reddit ads, you have different type of format that can help you on your organic strategy on Reddit. The first one will be the text. It can be like a title, short body with a link within the page that you want to push. It's a native format and it blends good within the feed. It is good for discussions, community engagement, awareness. The second one is image, is a static visual, headline and CTA. It's simple and it's fast to produce, and it is easy to A/B test. You can use this one to promote, do a product launch, things like that. Then you have videos. It's autoplay video in the feed. You can go through 15 minutes of video, and you need to add the subtitles, but because 85% of the video are watched without sound. So it will be silly to not add those. And it can be interesting to, if you want to push brand, product demo, storytelling. And the last one will be carousel ad. It 2 to 6 swipeable cards with independent title and CTAs if you want to showcase products, case study, etc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just perhaps to conclude quickly, as we're a bit short on time and we know you have maybe meetings right after, is that we think you should definitely be present on Reddit. It's just part of the GEO importancy. There's a few pillars that will be present. We'll have to quickly close it. But if you have more questions, of course, you can contact us directly on LinkedIn or through the QR code. But basically, there are those 5 different pillars that you need to develop as well. That we can go a bit more into detail in the FAQ for the next 5 minutes, for those who can stay a bit over. But if you have more questions for us, we're present at VivaTech. Our managing director will be speaking there as well. So you can book a meeting at our stand for that. And if you need any support from us, we're here. We're in an AI first company and we think the AI is the future. So if you want to boost your visibility on AI, GEO or SEO, we can help as well. And now for those who have 5 minutes, we'll try to answer a bit more questions. The recording and the presentation will be sent. So don't worry if you need to leave, you'll be able to see our response to any questions. I don't know, Flora, if you have anything you want to add that we perhaps went a bit over quickly.
No, I saw maybe some questions regarding the tool. I
Okay.
think it can be interesting to answer that. I have Remy asking about the tool that we have and how do we verify if our client is using best practices on Reddit. So basically, with our client, we have consulting a consulting phase when we help him to better understand the platform, how to use it, how to answer, and we are helping them in order to have the best answer, so we can create with them hand in hand the answer that they want to push. So this is how we are working with them. I don't know if you have.
No, no.
No, I think it's pretty it.
Yeah. I saw a question about in France, it's been quite upvoted. If you have questions, put them in the question section, or you can upvote questions that you find interesting. We'll try to go through the most upvoted one. I see a question about, is Reddit used as much as a source in France in LLM answers? And so for now, we do see that quite a bit. I don't have the exact figures here, but we can try to send that to you. We're always doing research with Eskimos, with barometers and other type of research. And so we have white papers usually coming out. And I think we should have that quite quickly as well on topic.
Also, I saw something about translation on Reddit. I don't know if we mentioned that, but we have on Reddit you have like automatic translation. So if you speak in French, you can reach maybe English speaker. So it will depend on the audience that you have. If they're already speaking English, it's better to write in English, and especially that the data in Reddit is really important in the US and on like English speaking countries. So that's it. Yeah.
I see at the bottom left, you currently have one of our research that we've done with Ipsos to see how the search habits are evolving in France. So if you want to download that, you have that as well. Any other question that we haven't answered for our presentation? How do you leverage Reddit for direct bottom of funnel lead generation? I think that's what we've tried to say a bit earlier, is that it's not going to directly convert. It's more of building that foundation on LLMs that will convert on the medium to short to long term. So it's important to build that kind of capital for the future.
I see a point about sharing a same account with other people of the team. So as I said, like Reddit have can flag like same IP fingerprinting, so it will be more interesting to have different accounts if you can. So maybe you and some other person on your team, that can be really interesting, and it will maybe help to increase the activity. If you want, for example, answer questions in other subreddits, if you have consultants or employee that can do that to help you and to push your brand, it will be really interesting. Yeah.
There's a person that's asking if they should create a subreddit. I think that's actually a great question for your brand. So I think it really depends. If you're a very small brand or startup, I wouldn't recommend directly creating your own subreddit. However, as you're growing, you should try to aim for it. But it really depends, I think, on your size and kind of in the niche you're in and how much people are searching for it. So if you want to build, I think if you're, for example, in Eskimos, we build our own subreddit, as there's a lot of research around geo and we hope to stay above the curve. But for example, I think if you're new to cars or that type of thing, perhaps it's too soon, compared to Nissan or that type of big subreddits that you might have. But you can definitely participate, and we strongly encourage you as a brand to participate on those subreddits, to post, to comment, and to kind of develop your authority there already. And then once people get to know a bit more your brand, you can definitely try to develop there as well.
And there is another point question. If I already have a community and I want to create a subreddit, can I do it directly, or do I have to get a karma before? Now you can do it directly, because your subreddit, your community will be your own rule. So you will be the one that will animate the community, and other also can publish, respecting the rules that you put in place. But you can, yeah, directly do it.
Yeah, I think I see a question as well from Thomas asking if is Quora similar to Reddit. It's quite similar. We're seeing it being cited a bit as well. So perhaps you could try to, perhaps not duplicate directly your answers, your posts, but try to make it slightly different with the same topics for that. But it is getting important to be present on Quora. Of course, everyone has limited resources. I think it goes hand in hand with what I was trying to present a bit earlier. With every pillar, you can't be on all pillar and be, have that much resource. So you need to focus. So it's really important to understand that depending on your niche, you should try to focus on a specific pillar, which we can help on if you need any help. But of course, it's about choosing your battles, right? And so if it's Reddit or Quora and you have limited resources, I would 100% recommend focusing a bit more on Reddit for now. As we've seen, it's the training data mainly used by LLMs. We'll try to answer perhaps a few more questions as we're a bit over. I don't know if there's any recent ones that have come up.
Maybe this one, I don't know if we already answered it, but do you need to encourage your customer to post on Reddit? It is not like the Trustpilot kind of platform, so you can just say to the customer to push your brand like that, because the comments, for example, of your customer need to answer a post, questions of someone that is searching for an answer. So it is not on this way that I will do my strategy. I will probably or like create a brand account or create a professional like expert account, better than pushing my customers to post.
Yeah, I think you can ask your customers what you can do is when there's comparisons. So for example, HubSpot versus Salesforce, you can directly tell them to, post on that current post. So comment saying which one they prefer. So indeed your brand. That could be super helpful. Comparisons are a great way to push your brand, as people type that a lot in LLMs. Do we have a trial version? You can ask with our sales team. You can have a 5-minute call with them. They can also answer any of your questions that you have here that we haven't responded. I think we respond to most of them. Please feel free to send us a message on our email address at contact@eskimos.co.uk, or you can directly book a quick call with the sales team. If there's any other webinars that you're interested in, or if you want a part 2 of Reddit for us to go a bit more into detail, we can do that as well. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
I think I had a great time.
Yeah.
And we'll talk later.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.